Right, thanks again for joining us. Our very first story. Ghana is confident that the outcome of the arbitration over maritime boundaries with Ivory Coast will be favorable to its long-term development. The Attorney General has indicated Ghana is secure in its legal position while offering reassurance to its international partners in the petroleum industry. Ivory Coast is, however, yet to respond to the arbitration.
Ghana regards this arbitration as a peaceful and friendly means of bringing to a final resolution a long-standing and costly dispute between two neighboring states that maintain and will continue to maintain an excellent relationship and strong bonds of friendship. Despite several years of good faith negotiations, including at least 10 rounds of bilateral meetings, Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire have been unable to agree upon the location of their maritime boundary.
The two states' overlapping claims generate uncertainty about the location of the maritime boundary. This involves a large sea area and natural resources vital for the economic development of both countries. Ghana maintains the boundary is to be defined by equidistance line.
At stake is a large area of sea and seabed, including the natural resources they contain, vital for the economic development and well-being of both countries. In this way, a situation of certainty will be enhanced, offering further reassurance to Ghana's international partners in the petroleum industry that the boundary is where Ghana says it is.
The process, which will last 3 years, she assured, will not affect oil and gas exploration in any way.
Ghana is secure in its legal position. Now, our legal team will be headed by myself as Attorney General and Minister for Justice and as agent for Ghana. We'll also be supported by a team of distinguished and highly experienced international counsel and technical experts. In particular, the international team will be led by Philip Sands, who is a Queen's Counsel and a professor of international law. And then we'll also be working with Mr. Martin Chamani, who is a Ghanaian and a professor of international law in Australia. And so I can assure you that the case is in good hands and that we hope to succeed at the end of this case.
Ghana has commenced the proceedings with a desire to finally establish its maritime boundaries.
And we've been joined on the phone line by the National Coordinator, Maritime Boundary Secretariat. Good afternoon to you, sir. And thanks so much for joining us, Mr. Kwame Mfojo.
Hi, hello, good afternoon. Pleased to be with you.
Right. First of all, the Attorney General is very confident Ghana will definitely win, but we've had experts say that it could go other way.
The answer is no, it's not going to go either way, simply because, as I have explained elsewhere, which I guess I would need to reiterate or restate on your station.
Okay.
The international law procedure is really quite simple. One, you draw a provisional equidistance line. When that line is drawn by the arbitrators, it will be almost the same as our current equidistance line. You basically then adjust that line in light of any what are called special circumstances, things which you need to do to bring equity into the situation. There's nothing in the coastline of Ivory Coast and Ghana when looked together as a whole. There's absolutely nothing which requires any adjustment. Our coastline, the total coastline is relatively straight and smooth, and the equidistance line will be a normal and unexceptional equidistance line. Now, the one item which basically causes a bit of a change in the coast is the Cape 3 Point, how it juts out into the sea. Now it begins to affect the line that's drawn only out after 270 nautical miles. Mm-hmm. Now really what we are principally looking at is the area up to 200 nautical miles. All of that is unaffected by anything to do with Cape 3 Point.
All right.
That is that's the reason why we actually as confident as we are. We've done the technical work.
All right. In other words, it would not affect our oil exploration.
No. It's a completely separate thing. The drawing of the line is a completely separate thing from the question of the oil exploration. But let me just address that. No, we're not going to have to stop exploration. We're not going to have to stop drilling. And the reason why we're not going to have to stop drilling is actually extraordinarily simple. Ivory Coast and Ghana are in the same situation. We all very seriously need petroleum. We need gas. We need energy. Now, if we actually going to have to stop drilling, and let's say for the sake of argument that they might possibly win, what are they going to get if we close down the field? They're going to get empty wells, which they're going to have to restart. 3 years. They're going to actually close everything down for 3 years. It doesn't make sense. And, I mean, once you understand it, you can see why a tribunal would say, really, you go ahead with what you're doing, and if you need to make any compensatory or balancing arrangements, you do it at the end of the case. Does that help with understanding why we're not going to stop? At the end of the day, if we stop, it benefits nobody.
All right. And Ivory Coast is yet to respond. I mean, what are we likely to expect from them?
They have to respond by appointing their own arbitrator within 30 days.
Okay. All right.
We've already appointed our arbitrator.
Okay. There are some who believe that, I mean, regardless of where this case is going, Ivory Coast has a very strong backing from France because they've maintained such a good relationship.
But why should the backing from France make a difference? This is an independent arbitrage tribunal. It's not going to, the fact that the French have interest doesn't mean that our case is weakened.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much for talking to us. Kwame Mfojo is the National Coordinator for Maritime Boundary Secretariat there. Go to our website, www.tv3network.com, and read more on this story. It's a developing story. We'll definitely be following up on it.